Steph says prayer request. In a crazy world like ours, there sure are more countless unwritten, unspoken prayers than ever before. Let's include them all in our prayers. I want to ask you to pray. Yeah, I want to ask you to pray. I caught a story on CNN, and it was a story about an Iranian baker. He's a bread maker, and it shows him in the video, and he's making bread, and he's kneading it all out, and he's making it flat, and he's getting ready to throw it in the oven. And they ask him, how can you possibly be here after your brother was killed? So his brother, just minutes ago, hours ago, was killed in an airstrike. So an Israeli airstrike in Iran took his brother's life. How is it that you're here? How is it that you're here? How is it that you're here doing this? How can you be making bread at a time like this? And his response was, I can't do anything to stop the war, but I can make sure people have bread. Ugh. I can't do anything about my brother's death, but I can make sure people have bread. Wow. To me, what a wonderful, wonderful outlook. See, he understands. It's something we were talking about the other day. He understands the human limit, and he understands purpose. He's mourning. You can see it in his eyes. He's incredibly sad. He's ripped up. But he knows that people need bread, and he won't let them down because of his pain. He won't let them down because of what he's going through. He won't let them down because of his brother's death. That would only make the situation even worse, right? If he were to say, well, I'm not going to make bread. I can't do this. I need to take some time off. In a moment like they are currently facing in Iran, he understands that staying away from his bakery, that not making bread for the people, would only make the entire situation worse. It's already bad enough that his brother's passed. It's already bad enough that his brother was killed. It's already bad enough that his brother was killed. He's not going to make it worse by having people go hungry. And so he's making the bread. You and I, here in our world, I can't do anything to stop Israel from bombing Iran. And I can't do anything that would stop Iran from launching missiles at Israel. I can't do anything about Russia being in Ukraine. I can't do anything about the civil war in Sudan. I can't do anything about the persecution, the violent persecution of Christians in Nigeria. So I have to ask, what is my bread making? How can I make bread? To use that man's language, how can I make bread? What does that mean for me in my context? What does it mean for me to make bread here? What does it mean for me to make bread as a Canadian priest, Canadian Anglican priest in Nova Scotia? I can't stop the world from, as Steph points out here, this crazy world from spinning. I can't stop it from being crazy. So, how do I make bread? Right here and now. Because me with my face on a screen waiting for the next atrocity, me with my eyes glued to a screen waiting on the next attack, me with my fingers thumbing through shorts and through news articles and me reading about all the things that are happening out there, I'm not going to be able to stop any of that from happening. Yes, I will be informed, but I'm not going to be. I'm not really of much good. So how can I make bread? Because focusing on the pain is not doing the world any benefit. Focusing on the craziness is not helping my neighbors deal with whatever it is they're going through. Focusing on the craziness, as a matter of fact, is only helping the world get a little crazier. So how do I make bread? How do you make bread in this moment? What is your bread making? What is your purpose? What is your purpose in regards to your neighbors? What is your purpose in regards to your community? What is your purpose in regards to your sphere of influence? And how do you do it? How do you focus on it? How do you let that other stuff go at least just a little bit, just a little bit, so that you can wedge in your bread making? You know what I mean? And then hopefully that will take up the space. Viktor Frankl, to paraphrase Viktor Frankl, if you know your purpose, if you live for your purpose, you can get through anything. If you know and live for your purpose, you can get through anything. For this gentleman in Iran, his purpose is making bread for his community. And nothing was going to stop him. No, even the deep traumatic loss of his brother to an Israeli airstrike isn't going to take him away from his purpose, because he knows, albeit in a small way, globally speaking, his bread making is important. He knows that he can't let his pain, he can't let his sorrow, he can't let the war get in the way of his purpose, because people need their bread. So for you and I, what is our bread making? And what is our bread making, and are we committed to it? How can we ensure that we never let anything stop us from delivering? Amen.